What's going on, guys? We're back with another breakdown. Today we're going to be talking about how one of our clients, Brandon Link, went from zero, working in a full-time church job as a creative director at a church, to over $40K a month working with home service businesses. So I am very excited about this case study breakdown. You can watch the full case study. I'll probably put the link in my bio, or the link below, sorry. Going to the full case study where I interview Brandon, going over exactly his takeaways and how he did this. But in this video, we're going to be doing a little bit more of a tactical approach of what he did, some of the takeaways. That way you can take some of these lessons and apply it to your video agency. So if you're in a full-time role, you're in a role now and you want to transition into having your own agency, I think this will be super helpful for you. So let's go ahead and dive in. So from 0 to 40K a month, this was Brandon's kind of transformation with us. And it's how he went from a 70K a year salary, a ceiling where he felt super capped, super limited, to building a thriving video marketing agency serving home service contractors. So number one, the first thing is, obviously this is Brandon Link. He runs Harvest Creatives. So the starting point, he had the name, he kind of knew what he wanted to do. He just didn't have a lot of traction at the time, which is why he couldn't leave the full-time church job. So his niche is, we helped him basically craft a niche. So his niche is video marketing for home service contractors. He started at $0 a month, and now I'm not going to speak to what he's at now, but this is what it was at the time of recording this case study. And just so I'm clear, there are no income claims here. We have no idea who you are watching this video, so we cannot guarantee that any of this gets you any sort of result whatsoever. You have to obviously apply it, you have to work hard, and you have to apply the knowledge that is given to you. So his close rate is also around 60%, which means that we are raising prices. So reality before, he had kind of a career ceiling. He was 10 years in television, capped at around 70K, 75K a year, with not a ton of growth potential. Didn't have a ton of structure, so it was a lot of random one-off gigs, not a ton of business foundation or sales process as far as like how to actually get leads in the door, calls in the door, clients in the door. There was no process there, and didn't have a ton of direction as far as the niche, the offer, and that client acquisition system in place. And he said, if I didn't join Master Filmmaker, I probably wouldn't have a business, which is crazy to think. Obviously, he put in the work, but we're happy we could have given him the system to do this. So the transformation, he went to 40K a monthly revenue. He had $0 to, he would close anywhere between 3 and 10K a month retainers, had about a 60% close rate, and is at a $480,000 annual run rate, which is awesome. So that's a big jump, obviously, from a 70K salaried position. Now, the revenue breakdown, so he still kept the church contract for a little while, but it was like 80, 90% client retainers. And then that last little piece was about $6,000 a month in a church contract, like the 6K a month that he got paid from them. And then we were doing about 34K a month in client retainers. He actually, the reason this is like this is because he actually made his church a client. So they ended up converting into an actual client instead of him being on payroll with them. They just became an actual client that he worked with under his business. Now, here are the things that we did with Brandon to actually get him these results. So number one, we helped him with offer packaging. So he went from I'd make videos for anybody to we're going to specialize in video marketing packages designed specifically for home service contractors. Number two, we helped him with a sales process as far as structuring how to get these 60% close rates, what to say on the phone, the scripts, the objection handles, how to do follow-up, how to do pipeline, how to organize all the contacts in a CRM. Number three, we did an inbound system, which is we'd help them run paid ads to essentially get clients and generate qualified leads. And then finally, we helped him with a scalable infrastructure to support growth and service deliverability as far as how to hire a team, how to hire an editor, a videographer, other people within his company to start taking things off his plate so he could focus on revenue generating activities, essentially. Now, I think the big identity shift that you have to go from is from freelancer or somebody in like a full-time role where you're trading time for money, you're creating these like beautiful art pieces, and you don't really have a business structure, and it's more of like a limited income potential. That's kind of the first identity. You have to switch into being more of a business owner where you're going to build recurring revenue, you're going to drive actual client results, and you have an actual scalable system to grow. So you have to switch from that identity shift. That was a big identity shift that Brandon had. And then other key mindset shifts he had was obviously like value recognition. So like your work is a lot more valuable than you think, and you're providing real value to these clients, and you have to treat it that way when you price it. Revenue driver, videos aren't just an art piece. They drive revenue, leads, and business for your clients. That's the way you have to think about it. You can't just be thinking about this is a beautiful piece of content. And I love this quote from Brandon. He goes, I can't believe all this money just keeps falling into my account. Just funny. So here's kind of the comparison. So 0 to 40K a month, that was the revenue shift. We changed him from no niche to an actual niche. We went from no pipeline to actually having a lead generation pipeline. We went from no sales process to a 60% close rate. And then we went from a 70K income ceiling to a 480K a year run rate, which is huge. All this to say, like, our program, this is not to just like flex our program, but our program works if you do. You have to do the work. And at the end of the day, you don't need clients to start. You need more of a system. And Brandon's a perfect example of someone who started at zero and literally built everything from scratch. And we always say consistent execution wins. Brandon committed to his niche, improved his process, and followed the process. And now we're in the process of increasing prices, increasing lead gen. And the goal now is to get to $1 million a year. So with all that being said, if you want to learn how we can help you do this in your agency, click the link below. There should be a link to schedule a call with our team. You can also check out more case studies of people like Brandon. We've recorded hundreds of case studies like this, and we're starting to do more of these breakdown videos, so hopefully you guys like them. And we'll see you in the next one.